Okay, this is Terry from T-MAK World. We're at the lovely Horseshoe Tavern tonight in Toronto on a warm August night. And guess what? We've had the privilege of running into one of our favorite bands, the Bluestones. We saw these guys at North by Northeast. We actually gave them a Gig of the Night award because we were so impressed with the show. Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for inviting us out to the show. We can't wait to see you play. You're going to be on stage in about 15 minutes. So thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
No problem, man. Thanks.
Okay, so, let me start off with the inevitable question. Anybody who's seen you live, anybody who's read our reviews are going to see a very, very distinct and succinct comparison to the Black Keys. You guys look nothing like the Blue Keys because you got really cool suits on, but at the same time, your music style is very, very similar to the Black Keys. Is that intentional? Was it you guys were listening to Black Keys one day and said, "Hey, let's start up a band and play like the Black Keys," or is it just totally a random accident?
It was absolutely just an accident. We just kind of started off knowing that the two of us played music, didn't have a bass player, and started writing songs, and it sounded good without a bass player, so we just kept it like that.
Not to say that Black Keys are obviously an influence of ours. I mean, we idolize those guys, but yeah, it was just more of, we wanted to get together and play music. There really wasn't the options for a bass player and anything else there, so we just went with what we had.
And the Black Keys were actually in Toronto about 3 days ago, I think. It was a Saturday or a Friday. Were you guys at that show?
No, we didn't make it, unfortunately.
We weren't there. Who would have liked
it? Now, okay, so for the people who don't know, you guys are out of Windsor, Ontario, but we keep seeing you in Toronto. This is the third or fourth time we've seen you in Toronto. Why? What's going on? Are you guys ready to move here? Or is Toronto your secondary home base, or what's going on here?
We really want to start playing a lot more in Toronto. We were actually talking on the way up. This is our 7th time in Toronto, and yeah, we'd love to, be a part of the metropolitan area. There's a lot going on, so.
So, word has it on the street, and we've been talking to you guys behind the scenes, but you guys are working on a new album. Anything you can tell us about this, Tarek?
Well, it's definitely a jump from our first album. It's, I guess, a lot more raw, a lot more rock influence, and we're really happy with what we have so far to give to everybody, so we're really looking forward to releasing it.
So you're saying it's different than your first album. How would you describe that to me? What's the difference in your opinion?
Well, we sent off the first album to a bunch of outlets like college radio stations and stuff like that. We were getting a lot of feedback saying, "Oh, this is a little too poppy for us," and we didn't like that at all. So we're coming out with this new album. It's going to be called "How's That Sound?" because we're giving it back to them, a more rock, a more edgy feel, and be like, well, how's that sound? And that's the whole concept behind this album.
So I don't know if you guys have heard the first album, but it's not poppy at all in my opinion. It's like hard rock and blues. It is real rock and roll, so I'm dying to hear what you guys have. Is there a release date that you guys are working towards? When can we expect to hear this new album?
Well, obviously nothing's set in stone, but we're looking around October is when we're going to release the full album. We'll be releasing tracks up to that point, so I guess look forward to some stuff coming in.
Awesome. And you guys, we've heard that you've done some acting before, and you're involved in music videos. So 2 questions. Is it true that you were involved in doing some acting before you were in a band? And second of all, should we expect some music videos from you guys?
Yes, we were actually both in the Windsor film scene. That's how we actually met the director for the 2 videos that we have right now, and we're going to be working on a third with a new director, and we're really excited about it. They're from Toronto, so or they're based in Toronto, and yeah, so there is a new video, and we have acted.
Can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so at the same time, we're talking about music. We're talking about the music industry. Your first album, some people said it was too poppy. Some people, like me, say it's like awesome rock and roll. Tarek, what is the state of the music industry today? What do you think is going on with the music industry and what people are being fed, and how do you change what people are being fed to real musicianship? 2 dudes like you guys coming out and playing your hearts out, playing the drums, playing the guitar, and singing your heart out. How do you get people interested into real music again?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of music out there. There's a lot of ways to put your music out there, and that comes with some, I guess, lower quality, but again, it gives a chance for people who really are passionate about music to put their music out there, and it's easier for them to achieve some sort of success. And I really do feel that music comes down to just being passionate about what you do, right? It's an art, and you want to be passionate about it. You don't want to do it for a specific reason like fame, money, and like that all comes with you being passionate about what you're doing. And yeah, I guess we have seen a little bit of a lack in that, if you want to call it, but then again, it's all subjective. But I definitely think that if you are truly passionate about what you're doing, it will show through the music that you make. And I mean, that's really all you gotta aim for. Just love what you're doing, really.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with your statement. I have seen you guys play live before. You have passion, you have raw music, you have a real rocking sound. So, it's exactly what I think that the music industry needs. So, on behalf of myself, is keep rocking. That's the message I can give you, right? Keep rocking and don't stop. Who have you guys played with before? Anybody worth interesting? Anybody you've played with? Anybody you will be playing with?
Yeah, no, there's a big gig coming up for us at the Shores of Erie International Wine Festival in Amherstburg, Ontario, which is right near Windsor, playing with Fits and the Tantrums and Justin Nozuka. So that's pretty big. We're excited to be playing with them. We've played with Stone Foxes in the past, who are a big up-and-coming band from San Francisco. Mishu, who's from Windsor, they're just a national act, and Current Swell from Victoria, BC there. So
that's some pretty big talent you guys are playing with. That's great. One of the other bands we cover a lot coming out of Windsor is Time Giants. So we were actually covering these guys as well. So it seems like Windsor's got a really rocking scene. I got to ask you guys. I'm talking to you, and it's like I want to break it down. What's up with the suits, man?
Oh, I guess it's partly just something that we've been really interested in style. Like, we follow a lot of style blogs on the internet, and I guess when it came to making our music, we kind of wanted to go with the classic approach, where people would kind of dress up to go see a show, right? And I mean, if they're not going to do it, then you know what, we will. So we dress up, we kind of make it a formal event every time, and I feel like that kind of sticks with people. So I don't know, it kind of mixes a whole bunch of our interests together. We get to play music and I guess look pretty good. So.
Way to go! All you need now is the hats, and you guys are rocking. Okay, let's wrap it up. Tell me about your first show ever. Where did you guys? What year was it? What was your first show ever? What happened? What are you giggling about? Let me hear about this one.
It was 2010, and this girl was saying she could get us all these shows around Windsor, and we were so stoked because we were just in the garage at that point, like we had never left. And so she said, play my birthday party. It's going to be a big gig and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, this girl's connected. It's going to be a huge party, right? We get there, and this backyard was no bigger than 25 by 25 with 6 people sitting in lawn chairs. And we're setting up on the patio, when are we going to the party? And she's like, well, this is it. And we're just like, oh, okay. So we looked at each other and we were like, okay, our set list is 10 songs right now. Let's do 4 and get out of here. So,
but mind you, she was a very, very nice girl, and just such a sweetheart. And actually, her family was very nice too. They took care of us. Yeah. So I mean, all in all, it was pretty fun.
It was fun. It wasn't what we expected.
But at the same time, I'm sure you guys played your heart out and gave it all you got, right? Because it was your first gig, right? It's a memorable one. You never forget your first time, right?
See, we do that every time. We try and just play our hardest. I mean, one person in the crowd, 100,000 people in the crowd, we just play our hardest. Not that we ever played for 100,000.
What is the biggest crowd you've ever played for, by the way?
It's probably,
all right, is it in the thousands?
Probably
a couple hundred? Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to let you go. You guys are going to hit the stage in a couple of minutes.
Yes.
What's your set list going to look like tonight? A mix of old and new songs? Yeah, that's what we're going to hear tonight?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. We'll let you guys go get ready for your show, and we'll talk to you next time you're in Toronto. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks so much.
Take care, guys.